Freedom of expression, the cornerstone of democracy across the world, and recognized in Sri Lanka. It is enshrined in the Constitution of Sri Lanka. It is an obligation under international conventions that Sri Lanka has signed. But in reality,
if somebody is following the law of the country, then nobody can take them to courts. So I don't think that there is any sort of threat on the media freedom.
Freedom of expression in Sri Lanka has been linked to 3 decades of conflict and war. It has led to the abduction and murder of journalists, censorship, harassment, intimidation and tolerance of a culture of impunity. After the end of war, freedom of expression remains suspect and is now threatened online as well. Under the pretext of threats to national security, online dissent has been stifled and websites that are considered offensive blocked. In November 2011, the government called for news websites with content on Sri Lanka to register with the Ministry of Mass Media and Information. This was followed by the blocking of several websites known to carry content critical of the government.
එහෙම දෙයක් ඇයි මේ තහනම් කරන්නේ? ඊටාම පැහැදිලි ඒ තහනම් කරන්නේ මේ ජනතාවට තොරතුරු ගලාගෙන එන එක, ජනතාව රජයට විරුද්ධව එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ පාලනයට මේ පවුලට විරුද්ධව අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කරන එක, එහෙම නැත්නම් තමන්ගේ හෙළුව එලිදරව් කරන එක නවත්තන්න තමයි මේක කරන්නේ.
What we are seeing is with the intensification of the controls on free media, alternate media is becoming more and more important.
First, there is no legal basis for the Government Information Department or the government to make that request for websites in this country to register. The second was the imposition of a punitive function there, that if websites did not register, they would actually be blocked. Again, that was completely arbitrary and extra-legal. And since 2007, we've seen this trend of the government blocking websites without the requirement of judicial intervention or pointing to relevant legislation that these websites have violated.
The demands of a truly democratic society include pluralism and tolerance, not only of information and ideas that are favorable, but also those which offend or disturb the state or any other section of the population. The report of the Special Rapporteur to the UN Human Rights Council in May 2011 underscores the unique and transformative nature of the Internet, not only to enable individuals to exercise their right to freedom of opinion and expression, but also a range of other human rights, and to promote the progress of society as a whole. How can the right to freedom of expression on the Internet be respected, protected, and promoted? How can we address the exceptional cases without jeopardizing the right to freedom of opinion and expression?
There is a very efficient 3-part cumulative test that was sort of developed by Frank LaRue, the Special Rapporteur for Freedom of Expression and Opinion. The 3-part cumulative test basically outlines that if you are going to restrict certain types of information, it has to be provided for by law. That's the first part. The second part is that it has to cover the restrictions outlined under Article 19. So national security and public health and order, morality, and also defamation, protecting the reputations of individuals. The third, which is what is most important with regard to Sri Lanka, is that it has to be necessary. The act employed. Restricting information has to be necessary or proved necessary. It also has to be the least restrictive means employed.